So this right here is a StormCat 230, about 2 months before it's finished. This is the beginning process right here. This is a suction cup lift. It's going to lift up the aluminum and it's going to bring it over here. And it's going to set it down on this table. This machine right here has a computer generated cut, and it's going to cut each and every hole perfect. Now this is the hole cutter. If you run over here, this is going to be your parts cutter. And this parts cutter has zero room for error. This thing cuts it very, very, very precisely. And the really neat thing about this is it comes with its own Sharpie. So not only does it cut it, but it marks all the places where it needs to be bent, and it marks all the places where it needs to be welded, along with writing all the part numbers on each piece of metal. So it's a very high-tech machine. They punch everything in this computer over here, and the machine does the rest. So after the hole gets cut, it then comes over here to this Big Daddy press machine. This is a giant press. The only purpose of this press is to form the shape of the holes. This is a $400,000 piece of equipment, and it is a 500,000 pound press. After all the parts are cut for the boat, they then come over here to the little press machine. This is a $250,000 machine, and it does all the smaller parts. So after all the parts get cut, the parts are brought over here on the pallets, and these guys are welding all the individual parts together. There's a lot of parts that go in the StormCat. I want to say there was around over 400 parts that went in the StormCat. And then after the hole is cut, the holes come over here to these jigs. This is where the holes get put together and welded together. After the hole and after all the parts get welded together, they then come over here where all the parts get welded into the boat. So after welding and the boat is completely welded together, it then gets brought over here into the foam area. After the boat has been foamed, it is completely sanded down, washed, acetoned, and make sure this boat is absolutely spotless. There's no dust on it anywhere. And then it gets prepped and ready to go to the paint booth. So start to finish, how long do you think it takes to paint one boat?
Paint one boat, it takes anywhere from about 5 hours to 7 hours, depending on what the options are.
So when you take the boat in here, you put the paint on it, how long do you actually cook the boat or bake the boat, and how hot is it?
It's 160 degrees, and it sits in there for about 45 minutes.
About 45 minutes, well, that's amazing.
And the time will depend on different options that come with it. All our boats mostly get speckled unless the customer doesn't want it that way. We've been just now doing our clear coats on top of it. You can really see it. I'll put a light to it.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Our new clear coats. This is an extra option. Get your boat clear coated. It's even in the brown too.
after they come out of the paint booth, they then go into finish. This is where they get put on trailers, and this is where all the tedious work all the time takes place. This is where the motors get rigged. This is where all the wires get ran. It's where all the seats get put in. It's where all your electronics get put on. Once these boats are completely finished, they then come over here, and this is where they do all the inspections. They hook it up to battery power, make sure everything's working properly, make sure it's ready, so right when it gets to the dealer, it is ready to go to the customer and ready to go to the water.